we're going to be checking out a couple of teams. We're going to be checking out one team that we have seen, well, two teams that we have seen before, I do apologise. Without Boost versus Need HOTA Talk Me. Now, we've seen both of these teams, Eddie. What are you expecting out of this match?
I expect a very, very, very competitive match. It's two very, very strong teams. I think it's going to go down to the map, honestly. So for my personal prediction, I would like to wait till we see the maps. But overall, this is going to be a great game. And if you want to learn RBGs, you should definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, and we do obviously have the wheel that we need to spin, so let's take a look at the Battleground wheel. This is what we're doing for all of these games. They are best of one in this round robin. Neither team is choosing anything. They are literally just having the map chosen for them for this best of one, so they can't plan anything. We do have a poll as well. 1 in chat if you think Without Boost is going to take it. 2 if you think Need HOTA Talk Me is going to take it. Licro, as we spin this wheel, what do you want to see here?
I think you already know the answer to that one, Kex, man. I think you already know the answer. What do? And it's not going to be. Oh,
is it going to be?
It's Gilneas.
It is our first Gilneas.
I'm so hyped. I'm sorry to take the word here. I am so hyped with this map. This is the map of team fights. There's one base to defend. It's very, very easy to track missing enemies if they're trying to ink. And both these teams are very, very strong. They have some of the best players we will ever see in the RBG scene. And yeah, this would be hype. This would be really hype.
Yeah. So the only map we haven't seen is Eye of the Storm, Licro, the one map that you wanted to see. But
I love that map.
Battlefield Gilneas between these two teams, you've got to say it's a pretty solid choice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I haven't been disappointed all day, honestly. Especially this wheel is so cool. Also, I just want to say, like, well done to the boys.
Agreed.
It's so cool. But I am super excited about this one. I think we're going to be in for a lot of one shots, and it's either going to be like a 20-minute team fight or like a 2-second team fight. Like it's going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So.
And also because both teams are so experienced that, let's say you lose a healer in the first 5 seconds, usually you just say redo. Like, you don't use your cooldowns, just go out of team fight, go again. Like, because these teams know if one is down, it's most likely lost. So yeah, it's gonna be a great game.
It's going to be brilliant. Battlefield Gilneas, it's one of those maps, and I think you touched upon it. It's there's one defensive, there's one base that you can defend, and then it's just a brawl to see exactly who gets the next base, which is pretty exciting to see in a map like this, especially when you have these two teams that they've got some fantastic players on both teams, and Licro, it's a perfect brawling map, shall we say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think we should do a little bit of a pre-match prediction for the gang, because I am loving being correct today.
I was going to say, you haven't been wrong yet.
I know these teams very well. I know who should win. But
Okay.
I'm going to go with Need HOTA Talk Me.
Okay, you're going with Need HOTA Talk Me. Okay, Eddie, your prediction here?
I mean, I've been following in Lico's footsteps all day, but changes are needed. And today I'm going to go with Without Boost. I have great faith in Yoga. I think this guy, the Warlock from Without Boost, he will put some chaos balls into the enemy team here. I expect him to play Destro since it's a full teamfight map, and I am also super excited because this will have implications for our later stages when we go into the best of 3s, even potentially even the best of 5 stages, because which of these teams are the strongest in the teamfight?
That's very true. I mean, looking at these two teams, they're very strong, but I'm gonna have to say I think Need HOTA Talk Me is gonna take this one.
Okay.
I think Need HOTA Talk Me is gonna take it.
That's what I'm saying.
I've just got that feeling. I've just got that gut feeling, Yeah. I feel as though that's what's going to happen between these two teams. But it seems as though chat thinks Without Boost is going to take it, 64% to 36%. So again, we're getting a good split here between these teams.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit shocked at that poll, if I'm honest. I think betting against Need HOTA Talk Me is it's a questionable thing. But, I'm happy to be wrong. And, the main thing is, as long as it's a good game, that's all I want to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
You just want to see a good game. You want to see these two teams just meeting in the middle of the map and just planting their feet and juking it out, seeing who is going to come out of that looking better than the other team. And I think Gilneas is the one map where that may potentially happen. Super excited to see what they end up doing. Looks like Without Boost has actually taken even more of a slight lead here. So people quite behind Without Boost going into this Gilneas battleground, and this is exactly where we are right now. Take a look at these setups. Looks as though we do have a lot of Boomkins on the side of Need HOTA Talk Me. We know exactly how powerful some of these can be. On the side, obviously, on Without Boost, we know once again their Boomkins are not to be ignored either. This fog-covered map is going to be the scene of an absolute all-out war between Without Boost and Need HOTA Talk Me. And Eddie, what's going to happen in the first 60 seconds of this map?
I think this will be, again, a very, very standard game. I really like Without Boost's composition. They have the Shadow, the Red, the Warrior, the Warlock. Shadow and Warlock is a really good combination with Boomies, as they both offer spell protection for the Boomkins. Spell protection is basically that if you were to dispel the dodge, you will take a CC. So I actually slightly favor their team fight. But then again, looking at Need HOTA Talk Me, they have a very strong melee composition. The DK Warrior, I expect this is a toss. This is a toss.
But I want you to notice a key component. Razzie X is on the Boomkin. Because they knew that they were going into Gilneas after seeing the wheel, they knew that they didn't need a rogue, so instead they're just going to play with a Guardian and have that extra damage from the Boomkin in the team fight. Very smart play from Need HOTA Talk Me, and it just shows how serious and how they want it so badly. But they're going for the speed cap.
They get it, maybe?
No.
The deck is slowed. Now he's...
there was no
They
speed.
weren't quite able to do it.
No, but Daki, he's just trying to find a big spear. I think he got 3 or 4 in the combination with the DK. Instant response was the barrier. And now look at Alun, the Mistweaver here. Look at his positioning also. He's got his TP near the house, in the house. Love that from him. I'd like to see Ace push up a little bit more, because if they wanted to maybe do a knockback on one of the healers and dive onto him, then it could happen. But Eddie, they're taking a lot of damage. They seem to be rotting.
And the cooldowns are getting puffed on both sides. Wings going for red, Avatar from Warrior, Incarn from Boomies, Warlock in his soul form, Palace popping wings. Like, every cooldown is used by Without Boost to counteract the cooldown uses of Need HOTA Talk Me. I think this was what you predicted, Liko. We might get into a little stalemate here as soon as the cooldowns run out.
Yeah, I feel like that for sure. And you've got to remember, 3 Boomkins, that's a lot of dot damage, but they really need the Warrior and the DK to connect onto a target to make sure they can finish them off. Yeah. But, we could be in for a bit of a long team fight. Oh, there's some action at mines.
Gilly Bear, here we go. This is what you love to see.
But this is great. Great. Oh, I'm sorry to take the word, but Without Boost are doing the thing. Now, the reason why you can play Shadow is you can use him to ink the Guardian. A Shadow will never lose a 1v1 to a Guardian. Eventually, Keely will have to need help, and this is strong, because this will thin out the team fight. And he might even get a kill here when Razzie is inking as well on the opposite side. Now, this I would favor Razzie against the Rogue, but here I would definitely favor the Shadow against Keely.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
It's interesting that you pointed out Razzie on that Druid as well, because you mentioned that, they noticed that there's really no need for them to take a rogue, and yet Razzie seems to be playing this kind of almost in a rogue-like state, kind of sitting around, and I think wonder whether the Druid was taken legitimately just because, it offers them just a little bit more in regards to survivability. This team fight has been going on for days now. I mean, you take a look at the mana on both of these teams, around about the 25 to 30% mark. Nobody really dropping yet. Cooldowns have been used left and right. There's pretty much no offensive cooldowns or defensive cooldowns. We do see on the Arms Warrior, they do still have Die by the Sword. There's a couple left, and whoever gets those quicker is going to be in a much better position. But this is what we expected, the all-out, drag-out fight between them. Doesn't look like as though Daki's dropping super low, though. Doesn't have Die by the Sword. He would back up. and these healers are chunking through their mana now.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. That was the next point I was going to bring up. When you hit these stalemates, well, what is the next thing you look at? It is the mana. And here it's a quite favored for Need HOTA Talk Me. Boomies are quite tanky, so it's easy for a Boomy to push in deep, stop the priest, the monk, the pala if they try to drink. And also the red losing his bubble earlier in the fight, I think he's a very good target to just simply train him, because you will drain the Huma. You see the monk is completely dry here.
Mick has died at Mines. I suppose they sent someone back like Raz to Mines, so he died at Mines. That's all cleared up. Personally, I'd like to see the Shadow Priest come to this team fight, because they seem to be struggling. They're dropping low. Most of them are around 75%, whereas, Need HOTA Talk Me, they seem quite stable. They need a drink. Ace drank to full. Oh, big damage onto Will. It's like, I think what the play right now, Eddie, is for the melee to be sitting on the Warlock. Hit the Warlock. It's as simple as that. Drain the mana, drain them. You're getting your dots up. You're cleaving them. They're in big trouble now. Without boost, it's in big trouble.
Yourself, like sitting the Warlock forces him to.
Oh, Willix!
Is he surviving? He drops.
They absolutely clattered him. Oh my days. Sorry, Eddie. That was remarkable damage. Big execute.
So I don't think it's enough, because the mana looks rough from without boost. Belzovic also drank to full. Ace half mana. It loses an extra drink. Ooh, the kills are coming. Yeah,
this team fight is indeed gonna be won by Need HOTA Talk Me, but don't count them out now. This game still has a long way to go. They still need a lot of points. They're gonna try and get the regroup, maybe try and do something a little bit sneaky on Mines. But there's a lot of options here. If me and Eddie were in this position, if we've been in this position before, no problems.
Yeah, this is not the end of this map at all for Without Boost. There is still plenty of opportunities. You take a look at the scoring. If they are able, it looks as though Need HOTA Talk Me are going to be able to cap this. They're going to take a small lead. But again, it now gives them a chance to basically, as we mentioned, it's just one thing they need to defense. Is that going to be a kill there? It looks as though there's the grip in. If they get a staggered kill here, that could be a real problem for them. I don't know whether they're going to be able to get it into the bear form. There's the Cyclone as well. It looks as though they're waiting here. There's almost like a firing squad waiting for this Druid to come out. There's also, it looks as though we've also got a little bit of a sheep as well. There's the grip again. So they're doing what they can to potentially get this Druid down. Looks as though they are going to be able to do it. And that's a staggered death on the side of Without Boost. And that is not something that you want to see. Again, I think the biggest point of that team fight there, yes, their damage was on point. They did a fantastic job. I think credit has to be given over to Ace, because Ace was able to get that full drink off. And the moment that full drink came in, suddenly there was a massive momentum shift on the side of Need HOTA, because they just had so much more healing capability than Without Boost had.
I absolutely agree. And plus, I don't know what... I feel like Troy should have been there. Trying to stop the drinks, getting a little bit more involved. You can see him lurking in stealth around there. Maybe going to try and press an Incarn Convoke in the back of one of them. That would be kind of gang of him. But, I'd love to see Mick come to the team fight also, Eddie.
I mean, look at this.
But
Severe action going on there at Lighthouse. And then we move back to the action here. Look at this. They are moving back in. So once again, Without Boost moving in against Need HOTA Talk Me. Need HOTA Talk Me have been able to take this. They were able to win the team fight that we had at the start that seemed to last for about 5 minutes until they were able to eventually kind of overcome Without Boost. Without Boost here doing what they possibly can. But take a look at the health bars on the side of Need HOTA Talk Me. They are not moving an inch. Wizik, as I say that, gets absolutely crushed and drops. Is that going to be enough for them to be able to switch it? Once again, keeping an eye on the health bars on the side of Without Boost. Is this going to work out for them? We'll have to see exactly what happens.
It's very rough. At least all three enemy boomkins of Need HOTA Talk Me have the Incarnation rolling now. If Without Boost can survive this, they will have the advantage of a one-man up. They can't start sitting healers. The Warlock is dead. There will be no Incarns. That means they have some room to push with the healers, and pushing healers will allow you for a faster wipe, but it's also risky as you leave your own healers exposed to the enemy.
Yeah, and it's team fights like this where that is sort of like that is where these team fights are balanced, is between whether or not you're actually going to be able to step forward, whether you take those risks and it works out for you. Because as we mentioned, if they don't work out, then you leave your healers free for the rest of the team to absolutely destroy. And again, it looks as though HOTA told me they're doing a pretty good job. Again, you see the Boomkins are dropping slightly low, but as mentioned by yourself, Licro, earlier, Boomkins are relatively solid. They're quite sturdy in this role, which again doesn't help, but it looks as though we did lose a healer on the side of HOTA told me. Blesovic going down. There's the Paladin dropping. So once again, this now puts so much pressure onto Ace and Elum on that Monk. And without boost, this is potentially the opening that they needed to step forward into HOTA told me and take this and being able to rout them here in this defensive position.
You can see Killy coming in. Killy knows what's happening. He knows his team might be struggling. He's waiting across the water, just in case they need him to be absolutely immortal, because we all know Guardians, they're basically raid bosses. So he's waiting across the water. He's going to see if he can stabilize. Raz is just chilling.
Just look at that. There's nobody on the other side of the map.
No, but it's a smart play. It's a smart without boost. They know he's ghosting. They're sending the rogue. Raz has to peel out. Ace is down. This is good. Blesovic still has his cooldowns, but it's a free play. Oh, great awareness by Killy. Great awareness.
This is fantastic. This is what Killy does. Killy understands the game. He knows where people are. Killy is one of the best RBG players in the game. He's a fantastic leader, and he's actually the team leader of his team, and he's just, well, you feel safe when you play with Killy. Every time I play with him, he has a rule that he always says to me, Licro, shut up, don't think, I will do it for you. Every time he tells me, stop thinking for yourself, listen to me. I'm like, oh, okay. Every time.
Nice. I mean, take a look here. We actually see on the side of HOTA told me a couple of players died there, but they actually managed to keep their main forces. And once again, Killy noticing that and just moving over and saying, okay, you're going to kill a couple of our players. Looks as though you may potentially take this. We're just going to move over here where there's absolutely none of you. And looks as though they've got a couple of other players over here as well. Looks as though we've also got Razzie over here. Looks as though we've got one of the Boomkins coming back for the defense. But again, it looks as though HOTA told me they've almost balanced themselves out in that central point. And without boost, now struggling on either side. They don't even know what they're doing, because the
game's meant to be won. The points tick so fast. The game is won now.
Look how quick HOTA taught me taking this one. And you've got to say, there are two very, very big moments during that game that I think we can point to. And I think we'll talk a little bit about as we wait for the next game to start here. Eddie, starting with you first off, that drink from Ace.
Yeah, that's superb awareness. This is what defines great healers. They need to know their chances of when to drink, and the best chances is the enemy doesn't have cooldowns, or your own healers using cooldown. That means a priest can drink on, let's say, Rapture, on Wings from the Pala, etc. And Ace had the awareness, he got the drink, and it won them the game, honestly. It won them a game, because we saw in the re-team fight, no boost. The Russian team without boost, they had the momentum, they had the upper hand, but in the end they chose to ghost. Killy foresaw it, and
he knew.
And I was going to say that second point, Killy with that cap over at Lighthouse, Licro, that was massive.
That really was. That put the nail in the coffin. He put that team in the ground. He put them 6 feet under. Absolutely fantastic play. A great team fight also. But
still, I feel like without boost, they stood a good chance. We saw the Shadow. Now, let's say, what if they brought the Shadow to the team fight in the start? Maybe if he didn't ink the Guardian, it would have looked different. I really feel like they had their chances, especially when Killy was floating as well. They could have sent the Rogue on Killy's base,